going on, guys? Swink here. Today we're going over my settings as well as how I set up all my classes. I just want to be completely transparent though. All my settings and all my classes are personal preference. If you copy it, you probably won't have the same results, especially with my aim and my keybinds. With that being said, here's all my mouse sensitivities. Definitely don't copy it. The chances of this sensitivity being good for you is extremely low. Honestly, I don't even like this sensitivity. I'm probably going to change it soon. But with that being said, you can look at everything on the screen right now. The only thing I will say is for mouse acceleration, mouse smoothing, and mouse filtering, put that at 0. You can read why on your own screen, just trust me, put it at 0. You don't want it. For the gameplay, here's all my settings here. I'll just quickly scroll through everything, and if you need to, just pause the video and then go from there. For the keybinds, I just want to say that all of these are personal preference. I wouldn't exactly copy these, but there is a method behind why I chose these. I try to keep everything as close as possible to my movement keys. The more important the motion is, the closer it is. That way I don't have to take my fingers off movement and I can still be moving as I'm pressing other keybinds. But with that being said, I'll just scroll through everything real quick. Again, pause it if you need to. Alright, for my graphics, I'm just going to be completely honest. You're probably better off looking up a video that actually can explain all this stuff for you. I only have a few tips for you guys. I don't really know the most about graphics. I literally just read all of these descriptions here, and if it sounded important, I kept it. I will say though, for the low latency, if your PC can handle it, put it on. It helps. Another thing I get a lot of questions about is colorblind modes. It's right here. I use green because I think it's the easiest to see. You might not think so, so if you want, just jump in custom games, test it. Find one you like. Maybe you like the original colors. I personally didn't. And another thing, even if your PC can only get a certain amount of frames, leave it on unlimited. For some reason, it bottlenecks your frames, so basically that means if I set it to 240, even though my PC can easily handle 240, sometimes I won't get 240. I don't know why it does that, it just does. So I would set that to unlimited. Another one here, if your PC can handle putting it on performance or any of these, I would experiment with this, find the one that you get the best results with. I think this helps a lot. Audio, personal preference, but if you want, you can look at all this and copy it. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to set up all my classes, and I just want to say this is all personal preference. This might not be the best setup. This is just how I like to play the game, so keep that in mind. I'll just show you how I set all these up. Usually I'll use a suppressor, either the sound suppressor or the agency. I think the agency is a little bit better because of the extra recoil control. So then I'll use whatever gives you effective damage range plus bullet velocity, or if I don't, for some reason I think the gun has good damage range, I'll just use the most bullet velocity. Task Force is really good, but it adds way too much recoil, so keep that in mind. The speed grip is a good option, but they nerfed the sprint speed on it, so I don't really use it anymore. I just use field agent grip. Patrol grip is also another good grip that I could recommend using, but for me, I just use Field Agent or Speed grip. Magazines, I like to have more ammo because there's a higher time to kill in this game, so you need to shoot people more to kill them. With that being said, just use whatever you want. If you don't want to use it, whatever, that's fine. I usually use this one because it doesn't hurt your ADS too much, but certain guns I will use the bottom one because usually it is a higher clip than the third one. Now for the handle, I like to drop shot. If you don't drop shot and you don't use a magazine that hurts your ADS speed, I wouldn't recommend using these. I would probably just use one of these. Sprint to fire time is much better for rushing, but that's just my personal opinion. I actually don't use it, so. Now I use the melee, the shovel. It's the fastest way to sprint in the game, so if you want, use it. If you don't want to, I don't know what to tell you. I use stim shot because they're overpowered. I use C4 because people camp a lot and it's the easiest and quickest way to clear out a room. You can just toss it in there, explode it really quick, and then it kind of gives you an idea if someone's in this room, and then it's up to you. Like, you have to kind of know how people play. You have to make a guess. All right, do people normally stand on the left side of this room or the right side? And then you go from there. Field mic, I wish it wasn't in the game, but it's in the game, so I use it. Perks. For all my SMG classes or anything that I don't need more than 5 attachments, I use perk read. These are my perks. If you're getting hit by stuns or flashes, take paranoia off. It's not hard to do. It takes like 2 seconds in the game. Gearhead lets you store more field mics, so that's super good. Tracker there's really no good second perk, so I just use tracker. Half the time I forget that I even have it on, so. Ninja, if you're playing Search and Destroy, please put on Ninja. It is the only perk that matters in Search and Destroy. If someone can hear you, they will kill you, unless they're just a really bad player. But if I hear you coming, I'm going to sit there and sound whore until you walk in front of me. Gung Ho is really good, but I would recommend Spycraft over it. I use Gung Ho because I rush a lot and I like to be able to reload while full sprinting because it helps me get out of trouble. Spycraft is definitely better because it allows you to not be picked up by field mics. You don't have to worry about mines, gas mines, jammers, and you can take everything. You can hack it. So with that being said, that's how I set up my SMGs. All the attachments are pretty much the same on every SMG. Like I said, I went over all the ones that I might use. It just depends on what day it is. One day I might put on the task force instead of the reinforced. I don't really know. With that being said, now I'll show you how I set up my ARs. It's pretty much the same thing. I use the Microflex LED. I don't like most of the the iron sights on the ARs, so I use this. This one I actually had the eliminator on, but same thing. Usually use suppressor or GRU suppressor. If you're rushing, suppressors are extremely important because people can hear you. They're gonna find you easier, but this is a good option. I do really like it. Barrel, same thing, just whatever adds effective damage range and bullet velocity. This one is good, but this one gives you more, so I use it. I put the mounted flashlight on just because sometimes I struggle to see people and I have a free attachment here, so I might as well. You could use this one for when you're ADS, but when you're rushing sometimes I don't see people in the corner, so I just put this one on. I don't know if it actually helps or not, but whatever. Same thing, I would use the Field Agent grip or the Spetsnaz in this situation. Speed grip's a valuable option. I wouldn't recommend the Patrol grip for ARs. I would use one of these two, or I guess you could use the Ford grip if you don't want any cons to it, but I just use these. Same thing with the magazine. If I think I need more ammo, I'll put this one on. If I don't need as much ammo, I'll put this on. As always, I spam drop shot. There's no other good movement in this game. You move fast, but that's about it. So I spam the hell out of drop shots. So I always use this. Every class has this. Every single class. And stock, I'll use this just because it doesn't hurt the hipfire accuracy as much. But this one is really good as well because it helps your aim, walk, and movement speed. But I just like the hipfire accuracy. I usually don't even hipfire. I probably should just use this, but I use this. For the perks, I use flak jacket because I don't want to die to grenades. Gearhead so I could store extra field mics, and ninja so no one can hear me. that's how I set up my classes. I'm not showing you guys my top 10 best classes or anything like that. I use every single gun in the game. I mean, almost all my guns besides attack rifles are max level. Oh, and the PPSH isn't, but yeah. But with that being said, I use every gun in the game just about. I think all the guns in this game are viable. You just have to try them out. Thing I forgot to go over, let me unmute my game real quick. This is what I use. This is why my hit markers sound different. Is under audio, select hit marker sound effects. This is default. I put it on classic. It sounds cooler. I don't know if it actually helps. I just like it. But with that being said, tomorrow I'll have regular upload actual gameplays. But if this video does help you at all, which I doubt it will, but if it does, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe for more content.